right. Thank you, Diyora. Do you work or study?
I study at school, which is located in Chulanzar. It's secondary school of Tashkent.
And what kinds of subjects do you study?
I'm now majoring at English and mathematics, but I'm also interested in geography, biology, and also other subjects, many subjects.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about patience, Diyora. What do you think patience is?
Patience is a really important thing in our lives. It allows us to overcome different situations, I think. When we tolerate something and uh, use our patience, we can achieve different things to do. For example, reading books also demands patience.
Mm, right. Do you think you are a patient person?
I think it depends on my mood. Sometimes I can be patient and bear different difficulties. For example, different smells in a room that may disrupt me, but other times I cannot tolerate sort of anxiety or different dilemmas, and I get anxious about different situations.
And have you ever lost your patience?
Yeah, sometimes it may happen when I'm not in my mood and I'm not prepared for something.
Mm.
Like I can be impatient.
And what do you do then? What happens?
Then I may even quarrel with my besties.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, I don't want it. I just do it subconsciously.
Mm.
I don't know. I do not have I cannot regulate myself in those moments, but
Mhm.
I try to be patient.
Mhm. All right. Okay. Great. What's the best season of the whole year?
Season,
Yeah.
in my opinion, it's the spring, when it's uh, heater outside and everywhere full with flowers and different types of events that are important in our nation. I think it really enjoys me.
Mm. Okay. And what's the weather usually like in your country?
Um, we do have different weather conditions, and each season is appropriate to its weather. I think, for example, in the winter we see snow. Yeah, when we compare it to India, they have never seen a snow in their life. So in the summer, it's hot and sunny.
Mm.
So I think we do have different climates.
All right. Okay. Now let's talk about colors. What colors do you like?
My favorite color is purple because it reminds me the space. I know I do really love space, and like reading different sorts of stories and information about it, about the cosmos, and it really resembles me. It's for a reason I like purple,
Okay.
especially the dark hues.
Mm.
Dark hues are better
Mm-hmm.
than lighter ones.
Uh-huh. All right. Got it. And is there a most popular color in your country?
I don't think that purple is kind of mainstream in my country. I have seen more greenish colors because of the trees and
Mm.
because of the plants that
Mm-hmm.
are uh,
That are what? You stopped speaking or the connection was
uh, that are ubiquitous in my country. There are a lot of trees. There are a lot of plants. I wanted to wanted to tell.
all right. Okay. Thank you. Two, I want you to talk about painting you would like to have in your home.
Meeting.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Painting. If you can access your Telegram, I'm gonna send you the picture of the question as well. Or just talk about a painting you would like to have in your home. You need to say what it is, how you know about that painting, how much it would cost you, and why you would want to have that in your home. Okay?
Painting, yep.
Painting,
Okay.
yes. Art, painting. I'll give you a minute to prepare. Okay, can you start speaking now, please?
Yeah, of course. The painting that I really want to have in my home is painting, which is painting of the nature, because I'm really fond of nature. I really like visiting different places in my, especially in my hometown. I visited mountains many times, and I get inspired by those spectacular views. I would like to have a painting, especially in the kitchen, because we used to have like 1 year ago one picture on the wall, like large picture, and it used to motivate me. It had a bigger shape of kind of tiger, and on the background there were waterfalls, and it really matched with the color of our kitchen in my house. So, but it got obsolete. Then we needed to get rid of that. We now eliminated it, so then painted the kitchen to another color. So I would really like to purchase another picture, which would really associate with the color of my kitchen and the furniture as well. I think in the future it will really help me to get motivation from the view, and I will be able to see that, because I like doing my studies in the kitchen rather than in my own room, because in my room I get disruptions. Near to my room, there is a room of my grandmother, and she watches different series constantly, and it's so much hard to concentrate on my studies. So I always come here to the kitchen to do different tasks and listen to different music even. So I think picture is so essential for the kitchen.
All right, thank you. Now I'm going to give you some general questions related to the topic you talked about. How do people in your country feel about art?
I think art is not something really essential in my country, because even in the schools, we do not pay enough attention to the art and art classes. We just need to, like, why do we need art classes in schools? Because we children need to foster a critical, like they need to use their creative, being creative, and it's for fostering creativity, but we don't actually draw whatever we want, but we need to draw whatever in our textbooks. It's really disrupting for us, and people actually, I mean, students don't want to pay much attention to the art. Also, when it comes to music, it is so much trivial that we don't use any sort of instruments. We just take notes about Beethoven, some sort of musicians, and that's it. It's not intriguing for us. So I think in my country, people do not pay attention to that, to the art.
Now, why is that, do you think? I mean, they don't realize the importance of it, or they
I
don't
think
do it in life?
they're not taught from their early age to appreciate art, and so for that reason they do not like and do not want to purchase different sorts of pictures, like really extortionate ones, for their houses.
Okay, thank you. Now, what are some traditional art forms in your country?
Traditional arts, I've seen many patterns on the buildings. For example, there are historical buildings that have different subtle patterns that are look really intriguing. And also they have different types of writings on it. People in ancient time used to write and paint different patterns on the buildings. So it's still preserved. For example, in Samarkand, there are a lot of buildings that have those sorts of art form, like on the structures.
Okay. Can you think of any other art forms?
Art forms, I think we do have our musical instrument. Is it art? We do have different sorts of musical instruments. I think people just don't want to use that, but it resembles the moon circle in a shape, and we kind of touch it. It resembles me even not either. What is this called? Okay, I forgot the name, but it's really tough to explain the musical instrument. Just
right. And you said that people do not want to use them. Why not?
I think we're losing our traditions because of the generalization. People are more intrigued to use popular types of instruments such as guitar, piano, rather than our own. So for that reason, because we feel more inspired by seeing these international people who are playing guitar or like violin, and they are more professional.
Right.
Also, yeah.
How has art changed in the past few decades in your country?
Art hasn't changed that much, I think, because art used to be kind of it used to resemble all the nostalgic moments from the past, like from war. I think it used to have different types of like white and black colors, but now it's more colorful, I think. Yeah. Actually, it has changed. It's more colorful now, but in the past, it used to include even ancient people. Now, people like drawing pictures of even something positive, like nature.
Right. Okay. Thank you. That's the end of the test.
Is that all?
Yep, that's all.
It was so fun.
It is, yeah.
How
What
was it though?
do you think? How well did you do?
I don't know. I tried to speak like I'm speaking to my friend. You're my friend.
And that helped you to feel more comfortable, more natural, or what?
I think I was more natural
Okay. Anything
and
else?
spoken away
Yes.
and spoken away that I speak. That's it.
Yeah. All right, that's cool. You did not struggle for ideas, did you, while speaking?
Not that much,
Right.
but I could elaborate on them.
You could.
I could, yeah.
All right.
Or
Awesome.
give even better ideas with better vocabulary. But I didn't pay attention to my grammar, by the way. How was it?
Well, you can listen to the audio speech, once more later yourself, like for yourself.
It's recorded, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I am recording and it should be recording. Okay. Other than that, let's see. Okay, so part one. I liked your fluency. I liked pronunciation features and the language for the most part. Your answers were sufficient enough, really. But there were a couple of wrong word choices that actually resulted in a lower score. Like you said, or grammar also, you said enjoys me, or instead of I enjoy. Or you said I'm not on the mood or in my mood instead of I'm not in the mood. The correct expression is just to be in the right mood. Like you say, I'm not in the mood right now, like that. And then you use the word resembles me several times, actually twice. You use that, but it was the wrong word choice altogether because resemble means to look like. But I think I couldn't understand at all in the part one what you meant, but in part three, used it again, and I realized that you meant something like reminds me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not, but it's not
Yeah.
it's not synonym. Like
It's not the same.
you remind me of my friend. You look like my friend. That's why when I look at you, I think about my friend. So you remind me. You remind me of my friend. That's how I use it. But if I wanted to use resemble in this case, I would say, you resemble my friend, like this. So they're different words. Okay, so yeah, just a couple of mistakes. Otherwise, your part one was actually very good. I loved the naturalness of your answers, fluency, how well you developed your answers, sufficient enough, really, like 7.58. But because of the mistakes, it went down to 7.5, I would say. All right.
What did you say? Resemble, and before that, once more mistake I had in mood, or how to say that correctly?
The correct expression is to be in the mood, to be in some kind of mood. Yeah, preposition. In the right mood, in the good mood, and in bad mood, or whatever.
What did I say?
You said something like on my mood. Yeah, you added the pronoun like
on, yeah, on.
Yeah, something like
yeah, sure.
Right.
Something on, I said.
Yeah.
From
right. So a couple of errors like that. It resulted in a little bit lower score. Okay, part two then. Well, generally it was okay, I think, the explanation and everything, but it's not enough sufficient for higher scores. So I would say your part two is at least 7 for sure, but not quite 8 either. Okay, so you're somewhere in between, like 7 plus, maybe 7.5. You get a good score. I mean, you were fluent enough, but language was not rich enough, or there were a couple of mistakes. I didn't manage to write them down, but you could listen to them later. There were inaccuracies in grammar and word choices again, I believe, yeah. But your fluency was good, but it could also improve. You could try to be a little bit more fluent so that you have, you develop your ideas more, you explain maybe more, so you can use more language as well. Yeah. Pronunciation was generally good, so I have no problems. But you could use even more pronunciation features like sentence stressing, chunking, intonation, the rhythm. You could do more, but for now, I guess it's good enough. 7.5 would be a good response or score for this. Okay, part three then. Well, generally it was, again, your answers were good, but there were a couple of vocabulary choices, and here 1 or 2 mispronunciation, like guitar. I think you pronounce it like guitar or something, but it's guitar.
It's guitar.
Yeah, guitar. And you mispronounce the word those. It's those, but you pronounce it those. Yeah, like as in do for animals, but it's those, pronunciation.
Those. Yeah. I said those. Yeah.
Not those, it's those. Like those people. Those. Like that.
Those.
And what else? You said generalization. When we're talking about how music, no, not music, art has changed, you said it's because of generalization.
Generalization.
Yeah, I think you meant globalization or something? No?
Generalization. I said, yeah, I've confused. Yeah.
So yeah,
globalization.
Errors like that are happening, but you are really explaining yourself. So I like how natural you are. To improve your speaking scores overall, I think you should really practice more speaking like that, you see? And in such moments, you realize when you misuse the vocab or you can't remember the exact word, use something else, but that will challenge your brain to generate or use more precise vocab over time. You're going to make mistakes, obviously, and it's okay. You need to keep doing that. The more mistakes you make right now, the more realization happens and the more learning actually happens if you're attentive. Yeah. And if you practice more, you will improve your fluency as well, because there's no other way to improve your fluency. The topic was not, I think, that tough for you. So you didn't struggle with idea generation. So that was good. Wrong word choices happened because of the lack of practice. Yeah. So we should.
Should I speak this to myself, or is it better to record it? Can I just speak, just record?
No, you could. No, you need to record so you can have evidence of what you actually said, how you exactly said it. You may not remember what you said or how exactly you said it, or you might not be able to listen to yourself while speaking. You're just talking, but you don't hear exactly what you're saying. For grammar even, you could listen to yourself. There wasn't a lot of richness in your grammar structures, like tenses and everything. So you could do that more. If you listen to your speech and you realize that you only use it present tenses mostly, there was only like one conditional, you could be like, well, I need different tenses. I mean, you could record your speaking and listen to it each time for different purpose. First time you listen to it only to see how natural you sound. Are you giving logical answers? That's it. Next time you listen to it one more time, but this time only for vocab. Are you using the correct words? Or did you struggle to remember the exact word and you said something else? Third time, you're listening only for grammar, like how accurate your grammar is and how different it is, like different grammatical structures using. Another one could be for pronunciation features, where you could do better and how, like that, you see? And each time you listen, you will realize how you can only focus on one thing at a time. You can't listen and focus on pronunciation and grammar and vocab and ideas all at the same time, If you try to do that, it will not be as effective. Anyways, yeah, you should definitely record. Send your recordings to somebody. You can send it to the group or to me or just to yourself and just listen that way. And
can I send you?
Yeah, of course. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
So your performance right now is at least at solid 7, and you're getting that at least 7 because of that fluency and the naturalness. These are all strengths of your speaking skills, really. The lower result might be mostly because of the wrong word choices for now and some few mistakes. Okay. Once you practice enough, improve those, then we could talk about like better scores and higher scores, but you need to improve those weaknesses for now. Okay. Through a lot of practice.
Okay. Also, I should add different structures, grammar structures. Yeah.
You know what? I would tell you this. One thing I just remembered that could really target all those problems that we talked about is retelling well-written sample answers. Text, be it article, reading passage you saw, or spoken answers, IELTS essays, or whatever, doesn't matter. They already have rich language, the precise vocab, great varied grammatical structures, ideas, everything is there for you ready. What you need to do is read out loud the text, first of all, just to really get it. And if there are words you don't know, learn them. Analyze it carefully, and then try to retell that well-written text as if it's your speech or as if it's someone else's speech, fine. But it would be best if you pretend that it's your speech. Okay. Like I read this article today about the, like how to manage my time better using neuroscience. And I'm going to talk about it as if I am the author of that article. I am like the professor, and I'm going to just tell you about like what you got to do to be more efficient in the day. And neuroscience is going to help you with that. Right? So I'm going to change the language a little bit so it's more spoken, but then I'll tell you all the essential ideas. I'll explain the ideas. I will use the language, structures, expressions from the article that are already well done. All I have to do is use them in my own speech, and I will record that retelling. You can do a video recording and listen to yourself, how you're using your body language, how your intonation and pronunciation features are changing or affected. You could do that as well, or just plain voice message recording. You could do that. Okay, and then listen to it later. As you listen to it after a day or two, you can assess like how you spoke. When you listen to this person's speech, does it sound like a natural, confident speech, or do they sound like they're memorized, or they're just retelling some boring speech or something? Then you can listen to it and then analyze your weaknesses and try to do it better. So when you listen to your speech, you should look at it not as if it's your speech, but it is someone else's, like you're listening to a podcast or audio by somebody. What they're doing well, what they could do better, or maybe they're doing so well, you love it and you want to listen to them more. If that's how you feel, then you're doing a great job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, after you retell the content, then you could add your own feelings, your own opinions about it. Like you can do so much. You see, with one well-written text. If it's an essay sample and it was about the advantages of, I don't know, using computers, and you don't agree with them, you could argue entirely and then just develop your recording. Like, so the passage talked about the benefits of online learning, and I found the ideas absolutely absurd. I mean, for one thing, the author says that online learning could be blah, blah, blah. However, I actually disagree because of blah, blah. In my experience, I found that online learning could be so destructive like this, and that's what author does not mention, and like does not discuss that at all. Another point I would like to mention, you see what I'm doing? I'm engaging. And I can also see how much time I'm spending talking in general, and how slow I am, or maybe I could speed it up a little bit. Do you see how from several different angles we are targeting our skills? speaking, vocab, grammar, idea generation, explanation, all of that you need for speaking and writing actually at the same time. You
Yeah,
see?
great. We're putting it into one place.
Yeah, and it's I will send this recording so you can listen to it one more time. Okay?
Okay.
It's super, super beneficial. And you don't need anybody else for this, actually. You know, like if you did not have a friend or somebody to talk to, you could just use yourself, like your device, and record your speech, listen to it, talk about it, think about it, analyze it. I mean, great, great way to work on your skills.
I haven't known about this actually. That's great idea.
Yeah,
I'll do it
really.
today.
Yeah, I have like so many students who've done that, who share the recordings of retelling, of just reading out loud, or like having such debates and everything, and they benefited so much, you know. There's students who improved their scores to 8.5 by recording like that, or those who could score only like 6 at the beginning improved it to 7, 7.5 by just doing that, you know, without having somebody else, like for example. So no need to use any excuse, you know, there's no excuse as long as you have some tools like this.
Okay.
Yeah. All
Thank
right.
you a lot.